Assalamualaikum. My name is Luqman bin Azhar. My matrix number PE24043. Today, I want to talk about the problem that CV Horizon Group face when when they manage phishing distribution system. Okay, the first problem is high distribution cost, which is the Horizon Group need to spend nearly to 1 billion rupiah every year on phishing distribution, which very considered as inefficient. For the second problem is multiple sources and destination, because fish were supplied from three fishing ports, which is Horizon, Silbaga, and Aceh, and it distribute to four consumer factories, which is Jakarta, Medan, Pekanbaru, and Jambi. It will create a complex transportation problem. For the third problem is non-optimal transportation allocation, which is the company had not maximized the capacity of its transportation equipment, which is called diesel and 500 trucks, that lead to the inefficiencies in delivery. For the fourth problem is lack of systematic optimization method, which is to the study, the company did not apply structured mathematical method. That's why they cannot manage it efficiently. For the last problem is balancing supply and demand, that ensure the supply from ports match the demand from the consumer factories, while it can minimize the cost was a challenge. That's all for me. Thank you.
So the first method we are going to talk about is Northwest Corner method. Let's dive into the methodology we use for CB, Horizon Group Transportation Model. We broke our approach down into two distinct steps to ensure accuracy and cost efficiency. First, we apply the Northwest Corner method, or we can call it NWC, method to produce our initial basic feasible solution. This method is highly mechanical and deterministic. We started at the top left cell of our transportation matrix and moved rightward and downward, allocating the maximum feasible quantity at each step until every supply and demand requirement was satisfied. So, whenever an allocation was made, we deducted the amount from the supply and demand crossing out the row or column once it hit zero. To maintain the correct number of basic variables, if both hit zero simultaneously, we carefully cross out only one and left a zero at the others. After crossing out a column, we simply move across to the next available one, and after crossing out a row, we move down. This process gave us an initial total transportation cost in around 928 million rupiah. While this is a reliable starting point choosing for its speed, it intentionally ignores unit costs. It is not our final answer, but rather the perfect baseline for optimization. And for the second method, we are going to use MODI method. To find the actual minimum cost, we took the NWC baseline and applied the modified distribution method, which we can call it MODI. Evaluates every empty cell in our matrix to see if routing goods, though it would save money. We calculated row and column potentials and they found the opportunity cost for the empty cells using the formula UI plus Vj minus Cij. If any cell had a positive value, it means allocating floor that would reduce our total cost. We create closed loop to shift the allocation and repeated this entire process until no positive opportunity cost remain, meaning we had reached the absolute optimal solution. We also actively monitor for degeneracy, inserting zero allocation when needed, so our math remains sound.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Hafiz Shazwan, and I will now walk you through the solution we developed for CV, which is Horizon Group's fish distribution problem. As a quick reminder, the company wanted to minimize the total shipping cost from 3 fishing ports to 4 destination cities while making sure all supplies and demands were met. We use two well-known operational research methods, which is the first one is the northwest corner method, or we call it NWC, to get a quick starting plan. Then the modified distribution method, or MODI, to improve that plan and find the lowest possible cost. So let me explain how each one works, starting with the northwest corner method. So the NWC method is very simple. So you just begin at the top left corner of the transportation table. You allocate as much fish as possible to that route. Then you move either right or down to the next cell. And you will repeat this until all supplies and demands are satisfied. So the advantage is speed. So what about the disadvantage of this method? So it completely ignores shipping cost. So the result is a feasible plan, but not a necessarily a cheap one. So by using this method, we got an initial total cost of 928,831,000 rupiah. Now, is that the best that we can do for this problem? It is probably not. So we moved to the second method, which is MODI. So MODI works like a smart reviewer. It checks each empty route to see if moving some fish there would lower the total cost. If yes, it calculates exactly how much to move and where to take it from. So in our case, MODI found one specific change, which is the shifting fish from Medan to Jambi through a different port would save 23 rupiah per kilogram on 251,000 kilograms. So that discovery told us there was room for improvement. So we made that adjustment, and that brings us to the final optimal solution. This table shows the final optimal shipment plan after applying MODI. So notice the key change here. Horizon Port now sends 251,000 kilograms directly to Jambi instead of Medan, and Aceh Port increases its shipment to Medan to cover the difference. So every supply and every demand is still fully met, but now the costs are lower. Let's look at the numbers here. So the company's original cost was 963 million rupiah. Our NWC initial plan reduced that to 928.8 million. But after applying MODI, we achieved 923 million and 58,000 rupiah. That means we saved almost 40 million rupiah compared to what the company was originally spending. In percentage terms, that's a 4.14% reduction. So most importantly, these savings came without buying new trucks, or adding extra routes, or changing any physical operations. We simply reorganized the distribution plan using mathematics. So to summarize the solution briefly, first, the northwest corner method gave us a feasible starting point quickly. Second, the MODI method improved that plan by finding and applying a better route. And finally, we achieved a proven optimal cost that saves the company real money. The key takeaway is that even simple operational research methods can produce significant savings without any new investment. Thank you. I will now hand over to my next teammate who will present our conclusion. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ahmad Faris Aiman. I will be presenting on the conclusion part of this project. So, CV Horizon Group has used two main methods for this issue. The first one is the Northwest Corner method. The second is the Modified Distribution method or MODI optimization. The reason why they use the Northwest Corner method is because it is quick and also possible to achieve the feasible solution for the transportation plan. It also satisfies the supply and demand constraints. We can see this that it works by seeing the cost reduction from 963 million rupiah to 928 million 831,000 rupiah. This method shows that even a simple method can yield to saving. Um, Although the Northwest Corner method really does work, but it also have a few limitations. The first one is it does not consider the transportation cost, which means the final cost will be a bit higher. Second is although the solution are feasible, but it is not necessarily means that it is fully optimal. So CV Horizon Group decided to use another method of optimization called the modified distribution method. So the way this method works is that it will evaluate the opportunity cost of unallocated cells. It means they will reallocate their shipment to minimize their expenses. And by doing so, they managed to reduce their costs further to 928 million and 58,000 rupiah. The total savings for this project is 39,942,000 rupiah compared to the original plan. They can slash 4.14% of their total cost from the original plan. From this project, you can see that the operational research really can help in practice for the real world logistic problem, such as CV Group using the Northwest Corner method and Modi method in their real world logistic. Since CV Group is a company distributes raw fish uh, for all around the world, they managed to improve their efficiency, reduce their unnecessary expenses, and also strengthen their competitiveness in fish distribution industry. So by combining these two simple methods of Northwest Corner method with optimization techniques of modified distribution method, they can achieve both practicality and also the precision. So this dual approach ensures that logistic operations are efficient at all time and align with their profitability goals. That is all from me. Thank you.